Combining datasets in Magic ETL is simple with the Append Rows action. This action lets you append rows from multiple datasets with similar columns and data structure into one table by stacking one on top of another. It does this by checking for columns that have both matching names and data types. Let's walk through this process to see what that would look like. First, we'll drag in the datasets that we want to combine. Both datasets show a list of items that need to be shipped. One is a historical dataset no longer updating, while the other is giving us newer transactions, and we want to append these into one dataset. Appending data works best when the schemas from both tables are structured the same. Next, we will click Combine Data and select Append Rows, then drag that onto the canvas. We'll then connect the datasets to the Append Rows tile. Next, we need to decide which columns we want to include in the append. To see all columns from a particular dataset, we can select the table from the dropdown. This will also include any shared columns from the other table. We can also include all of the columns from both datasets by clicking here. Lastly, to only include the shared columns from the datasets, select Only Include Shared Columns. For this example, we want to only include shared columns. We can see here that the column zip code is being removed. Since both datasets have a column with the same name, let's see if they are the same data type. We can do this by clicking on the input dataset. Under the Details tab, we can see that zip code is coming in as text. If we compare this to the other input, we see that zip code is a number. To properly append this data, we need to first solve this discrepancy by using a set column type. First, attach it to the input that we need to change. We'll select our column, and since we want this column to have a data type of text, we'll select that. We can then connect it back to the Append Rows action. Now we can see that it shows no changes, and we're ready to connect this to an output tile. Save and run the data flow, and start creating cards off of our new dataset. And that's how you append rows in Magic ETL.